So Endless Dungeon is coming out, and as you can see here, people are saying that politically correct stereotypes and diversity quotas. Safe to say I won't be buying this. It could be the best game in the world, and I still wouldn't buy it. I guess it's time to hoist the sails. And the developer is saying, hi there, we're an inclusive studio, and we're trying to create games that reflect our values. We won't apologize about it, and we're proud to showcase diversity in Endless Dungeon. You're obviously free not to buy our game. Have a nice rest of your day. Smiley face. Now, I want to say that I find it interesting how all these racists, which I assume people who do not like diversity are, all these racists never seem to complain when Japan releases a game, or South Korea releases a game, or China releases a game. It's only when people with the California mindset that release a game that the racists come out in strength. So I think that maybe it's not about racism. I think that maybe it's about wokeness, which is an ideology that takes some insignificant elements of humanity, such as race, gender, things that in the 90s we used to say that is just skin color, what does it matter? But this ideology turns it into the most important thing. It turns it into it defines a human being, right? So because you're American, your entire destiny has been preordained to you and you cannot escape it. Like if you're a black American man, then you must vote Democrat. If you do it differently, then you're not authentic to yourself. This is what this ideology teaches, right? So when you buy a game that supports this ideology, this is the mindset that you're using your body to support. The second issue is that people who are woke and are making these types of video games are very aggressive and divisive. Like, they will accuse gamers of being racists, of being sexists, of being transmophobists, right? So it's not like the community that likes Endless Dungeon. It becomes like the good community of Endless Dungeon and the toxic fans, the evil people, right? And it's like a way of thinking that a lot of individuals disagree, especially when you gaslight people. Like if you have a character in a video game that has always been white, like you take Geralt from The Witcher, and all of a sudden he's black. And there's no reason for it. There's no lore justification. There's nothing. It's just like, now he's black. And if you don't like it, you're a racist. You racist person, you. And it's like this division. And also the fact that when you have inclusivity at a company, it's not the diversity hires that's the problem. It's the diversity firings. Like, if you do not think that way, like as you can see, they use the video games to reflect our values. Like a corporation that has probably hundreds, if not thousands of people working there. Have they ever done a survey? Like, do you honestly think they did a survey to find out what are the values of the people working there? No, they have done the good old trend of fascismus. Like, they are fascists. They have the person at the upper level deciding what those values are. And if you want to work there, you need to have those values, because otherwise the corporate fascists are going to get you fired. And this is what the diversity firings are all about. Like, you can be an amazing game designer, but if you happen to be a person that doesn't support their fascismus, then you get fired, right? So they will end up with incompetent individuals, and this is why in modern day trend, when most of the corporations have embraced fascismus, you notice that they have games which don't even launch on day one. And there have been many such cases this year alone. And people have lost faith that individuals that make games which reflect their values are capable of even running on day one, let alone being enjoyable video games. And it's also like the mindset of the fascist California corporation. They don't really care about the product anymore. They don't put a lot of heart and soul. In fact, the only thing they care about is the values. Like, they are far left, radical, extremist agitators that happen to make video games. And due to that, a lot of people like Jarl here do not enjoy buying video games from this company. And there's many people like him, many people that are supporting him. And this is a good thing, because you notice that the culture is changing. From my insiders, I have found out that people from Amazon and from IMDb especially, they're having a difficult time just getting their moderators to remove the negative comments from the new Robin Hood because they are so overwhelmingly negative and so huge in number that they don't have the moderation required in order to plug those negative reviews. And again, this is from behind the scenes. You should take my word for it. If you give a negative review on IMDb, and by the way, like this is like right now, I don't know how it's going to be 2 days from now or in the future, because they don't have the resources to make this sustainable. But the idea is like there are certain products from big corporations like Amazon where if you give a negative review, you get shadow banned and you can't give any more reviews for a while. And this is, something that's an open secret, that websites like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes aren't exactly honest. I don't know if the normies have figured this out yet or not, but they are trying to push their values in any way they can. And one way to push your values, like if the video game is not meant as a product for entertainment, but it is meant as a product of pushing your values, then obviously they deeply care about those values, right? And they're invested much more in those values than if the video game is bad. So when people criticize the video game, they view it as an attack on their values. It's kind of like going to a Christian and telling him that God isn't real. Like you're attacking his core beliefs, his core values. So they're going to react very aggressively. They're going to be incredibly obnoxious, passive-aggressive. They're going to try to not only distance themselves from you, but to tell other Christians that you're a bad man. And this is what these corporations are also doing. Like, if you tell them that you don't like their video game because it's woke, they view it as a personal attack. Like, you're telling, fuck their mother or something like that, right? Like, they're not going to take it very well. And this is what's happening on most of these forums. But this is a good thing that finally people are speaking up. Because back in 2016, when this shit started, and if people would have talked about it then, it wouldn't have gotten as bad as we have it today. You would have just, there were a couple of people that were voiceless on forums, but if you talked about it, you would get like an army of social justice activists saying that you're a piece of shit. Nowadays, it's the opposite. Like nowadays, if you talk about it, you're going to get some moderators complaining, but the overwhelming amount of people seem to agree with you. And, most people are saying, yeah, it's fair what the developer said. I mean, it's their right to make a video game that reflects their values. But it's also our right to express why we will not buy this game, to let other developers know, like this is the most important aspect, to let other developers know that we don't stand for these values with our money. Like, if you want to push these values, fine, do it, but with your cash, not ours. Use BlackRock, use your ESG money, use everything that you want except our cash. Because we are sick and tired of it, and we are not racists, because we do purchase games from China, we do purchase games from Japan, we do purchase games from South Korea, Eastern Europe, other places in the world. Like, we are more open-minded and diverse when it comes to our purchasing. We just dislike the California mindset, and you know what it is. I don't have to explain it. I'm pretty sure if it triggers you, you're absolutely in the know of what I'm talking about. So let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.